Are we live?
It seems, yes, we are live.
Oh, great. Here we go. Finally, we did it.
Yeah. It seems working.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Me too. And I'm watching on my laptop by now, and looks like everything is fine. Lagging, but fine.
okay, better than nothing, I would say. So, ciao
First
a
of all, may,
tutti.
may I say thank you for inviting me?
You're welcome. Uh, I would say uh, this live was a kind of joke that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
discussed last time. It was more or less June or July, something like that. Last
yeah,
time
yeah.
we met each other, and yeah, your proposal was great, and I would say, and I said immediately, why not? Let's do it. It was a bit complicated to organize it, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because job and shit. And
yeah,
is it
then
possible to say shit in
vacation.
this channel?
Yeah, absolutely. You can
Okay.
say the hell you want.
Oh, great, great. Let's do talk.
But by the way, we are here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present you. I'm Andrew C. You know me, and I present you Mr. Breakill Isaac Grillo. So,
Hello,
please,
everyone.
Isaac,
My pleasure to be
introduce
here.
yourself.
Well,
Introduce yourself.
I'm kind of well known in Italy because I was the first commercial brand in custom coils, in specific alien coils, which in my opinion are the best compromise between flavor, price, and reactivity. So I decided to focus on that specific model, and uh, looks like the customers appreciated my choice. So far
I
so
can
good.
confirm.
But recently I started working a lot more with foreign country, with the United States, Turkey, Germany, Swiss, a little bit of French. But so I'm expanding. So it was needed to give some information about the product because in every language I saw some videos about custom coils, how to build it. I saw a lot of old misconception about complex coils because they comes from basically all the complex coils comes from an artistic world,
Hmm.
and comes mostly 99% comes from direct lung vaping. So when the coil is big, it's not such a delicate thing to manage because the coil is big, the wire um, is bigger,
Hmm.
is small, is still small, but compared to an MTL coil is bigger. Than that's it. So
Hmm.
it's a lot more fragile an MTL coil. Uh,
Hmm.
so there are few things you have to consider when you are dry burning them, when you're doing the first activations and so on. So also, the last time we met each other, you presented me this atomizer here,
Hmm.
uh, which is your actually,
Yeah.
uh, which is really your. Uh, and I was very curious because recently, thanks to a friend, I started doing some meshed complex coil. Oh, I still prefer cotton because I don't like really that kind of separation the mesh gives. But I really understand why a lot of people enjoy and want that kind of vaping because it is a very different planet, and it depends
Hmm.
also by what you vape. But I gotta say, I had only two atomizer to play with the mesh, and one of them was not really a mesh atomizer, which is Integra. The concept
Okay.
behind that atomizer was a cotton atomizer, where you can put a mesh very efficiently, but it's not really his cup of tea. Also because the amount of hotspot that comes by building a mesh inside it is huge. So it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I took a long road in speaking, but I go back and I simply say I build coil for my job since 4 years, 12 hours a day. That's what I do.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I hope we together can do an interesting conversation about that.
I suppose. I do have some question for you. Uh, as you said, this is your job. So this means that you are doing this every day. So 10, 12 hours per day. So
yeah, it depends. Of course, the pandemic create a lot of problems. So I had no, I forget the English name, but
tell it in
I asked in
Italian.
Italian, fiera.
Oh, okay. During a event, a show.
Yeah. The Vape Italy, the Vape Expo. So it's a lot of work that I hadn't to do. So this year I never had to do more than 8-10 hours a day. But the last year, the first year, I had to do even 14 hours per day because there isn't only building when you transform this into a job. There is shipping, there is commercial invoice, and a lot of shit you really don't want to do, but you have to.
Yeah, I can imagine. You have to talk with supplier. You have to talk with, of course, customer, dealers,
Customers
and
are actually it's not a problem. It's a part of the job. So it's interesting and funny and always gives me a lot of new ideas. Different is when the transporter lose the packaging or simply takes it. So yeah, I had
okay,
also this.
yeah. Maybe you are waiting for wires or package and so on, and they are maybe lost somewhere
Wow,
in the world.
the first year, I highly underestimated the amount of coil I had to produce. So after the first batch, I had double the orders I got the first time, and I had no packaging ready. So I was going shop by shop to take back the empty they
No.
had to refill while waiting for that 2 weeks before the packaging arriving. So it was
Whoa.
I wasn't prepared for that. No.
No, that's great, I would say. That's part of the job. Of course,
Yeah.
I suppose it was a fresh new activity for you. It was the first time you were approaching this kind of
Being
how can I say
being
self-activity.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was working in commercial, and it's also my attitude to work with people. So that wasn't really the big problem. The big problem was dealing with all the behind the building stuff, which is always the real problem. Managing the shipping, managing with events, trying to be everywhere in each time. So yeah, I had to rearrange my state of mind before having.
That's clear. That's clear, and I can imagine. Of course, I work for a company that do a lot of mainly engines. My job, I work as I'm an engineer, so I coordinate with other people the project. I manage the project to transform engines in something a little bit different, but still engines. By the way, and what the people see generally is the overall product, so the engine.
Yeah.
But a few people know what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So what is really complex and what happened when you manage the overall process.
Yeah.
So starting from the idea and completing the process, giving to the customers or to what everybody the final product is absolutely complex. So
yeah, and most of the people
I know,
can't understand really. Yeah, but
no,
I
no,
believe this
exactly.
is common to every job. Just to say, when the first handmade boxes came out, I everyone heard, oh yeah, everybody can do it. It's just a piece of metal and shit. And then somebody started do it because he was thinking it was easy, and he
Yeah,
started doing it, and so that it wasn't really all that you can see. There are a lot of stuff to do, and that people will never
absolutely.
know what's behind. I see some people tuned in, so I say hi everyone.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I
Yam
see
is a
that.
good friend, and Andrea Nebbiolo.
Yeah,
I'm drinking Nebbiolo right now, so cheers.
yeah, but I know Andrea very well. He's a good friend of mine. But I do have to say that Andrea is the fake Nebbiolo because you're drinking the one with two B. So the real one is Nebbiolo. Why he has just one. So he will reply to me, I think in 30 seconds, saying me, fuck you. Something like that.
Billy Vapes 215. Hi, welcome.
Ok, ciao Andrea and ciao Philly. So I would say, okay, I drink the B2B version. Okay, I would say, I don't know how many people are in this live. Sorry, how many viewer we have, but this is the first time we do something like that.
Yeah.
I'm Italian. Isaac is Italian too, and I would say sorry to everybody for our English. It's what
Please
we can
forgive
do.
us. Please, I hope you can understand.
We are two friends. I hope that this is clear and this is visible. We are two friends. We are chatting in a language that is not our one, so we will make mistake. It happened.
So please don't hear your ear off.
Yeah. Please don't call any teacher or something like that because it will be terrible. By the way, I do have another question. So, as you said, this is your job. It's so
Yeah.
complex, but I want to know when you start doing complex coil, how you started, and what I would say pushed you to try complex coil.
Well, I by my nature I like everything is weird. So
Okay.
that actually that's the reason behind I enjoyed vaping since the first moment, because it was weird, and to get the best you had to go deep into the rabbit hole, because when I started it was I believe 7 years ago. So the first big battery was like a laser sword, long, big, huge, and
Yeah.
working very bad. So um, I had to experiment. And when I first got my K-Fun, which was my second rebuildable atomizer, my first one was the uh, from IMEO, the Ithaca, which
okay.
yeah, very very difficult to rebuild. So I started the hard way to rebuild. So then I got uh, my K-Phone Lite Plus, and I started watching. Do you remember the guy Rip Tripper? Who was
Okay, yeah,
very,
yeah.
he's still popular, but at the time he was the most popular YouTuber about vaping, and he was doing some tryouts with the vertical coil with double with that two coils into the same into one hair roll. So it was very very weird. And following him, I came to know about the Clapton, fused Clapton. I gotta say, my first tryout was a fail, really a fail, because I used the wire I had, so it wasn't really the right gauge, the right material, so I failed. Then I don't remember how I came out to retry the fused Clapton a second time, but the second time it was a very very huge success. I was vaping direct lung at the time, so it was everything easier. I had also um, a good variabot system. So a lot of things changed enough to make it possible. So after that, I started experimenting every coil I could. So it started like everyone, just to try making the most complex coil you could do.
Okay.
And at the time in Italy, we were like three people doing that.
Okay.
So far, for what people told me, I was the first one to do an alien. Maybe there for sure there is anyone else who did it before me, but I was the first one to share. So uh, a lot of people was curious about what I was doing, and somebody asked me, "Do you sell them?" And I was watching, like, what do you mean sell? What can how can I sell you this? It took me an hour to do that, and a kilometer. What could be even the price? I don't know. That I give it for free because there is no price for that. But after trying, doing, giving for free some coils, having too many requests, I I decided to sell something, and that something became a little bit too much to do the wrong way, doing like a secondary job. When you move too much money, I'm not that. I don't know how to say, but I was scared to doing
Okay. Okay. I
something
got you.
too big to stay hidden.
No.
So I
Yeah.
decided to also I decided to do it the right way, because I believe if you do something, you have to do all in. And I decided to go all in. I decided to do a catalog. I decided to do a product and not just a coil, because the difference is huge. A product is meant for everybody. A coil is
Yeah.
meant for what you want, and that's a huge difference. Because to me, I want a very complex coil which challenges me, and then I find a way to make it works. Because the challenge for me is make a strange coil, weird. Then of course after the years, I had a few time and less time to do it. Also, when you build 10 hours a day, you find another way to enjoy your free time, because when it becomes a job, the things are different. But basically,
Absolutely.
when you do for you, it's one thing. When you're doing for the people, and also when you decide to work with the shops and not directly with customers, you have to deal with the needs of the shop. To make an example, they can't know whatever is behind a coil, why this coil is good for this kind of atomizer and this one is not. And they can't know everything. They have to deal with the tone of stuff, the new atomizer which came out, which is different between the other and the pod mod. And tomorrow, no, tomorrow the BF is not really the best choice anymore. You have to go with the side by side. They have a lot of stuff to think about. So there is a very big world behind the complex coil. Making a product means you have to make it easy and effective, and that's a different job.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have to say, I'm a quite old vapor. If I can define myself old, it's about 8 or 9 years that I start vaping.
Yeah.
And I do have to say that I had a first approach to the complex coils time ago, probably most likely seeing the same video that you were seeing with Reef Clipper, with Homeboy OC, something like that.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of really cool video how to do complex coils. I tried. I had more than one fail.
Yeah, me too. A lot more than one.
Yeah. And I said, okay, I'm not so good to do it. And I said, okay, this is not my job. This is not my range. I have to do something else.
You don't have to do that because you want to. There is a lot of people who decided to make coils because it looks easy. It looks easier now because you can buy swivel, you can buy the stuff that keeps the core together, but that's not helping you. You must waste kilometers, miles of wire before being effective, and that's it. You can't do any other way else. You have to try. You're not gonna be a builder because you're good when you start. You're gonna try and learn and try and learn and try and learn until you go and become effective. And this is interesting because it's the first time I do something where what you are doesn't matter. It matters how much effort you put in. Even the most complex coil, if you try and try and try and keep on trying, in the end, you're gonna make it. And that's it for sure. You're gonna make it. You just have to waste the wire.
Okay. But I would say you said something really, really positive and encouraging, I would say, at 360 degree. I would say if you keep trying, doing something, you improve, and I would say, in a way or another, you reach a good level, and you can do something different every time. You improve every time. You learn something more, and I would say it's you just passed a really good message.
Yeah, I want to say even one thing more about it. You must enjoy even the failures because it's a part of the game, and that's, I believe this applies to anything you're gonna do. And if you do something you enjoy, there's nothing that can stop you, because the only thing that can stop you are the failures. And if you can manage the failures and going with them and learning, and this is I don't want to say that failure is part of the game. No, it's the game, because the failure is what is teaching you. When it comes to the coils, is actually very straightforward, this relation, because you fail the coil and you learn that you failed because you apply too much tension. So you're learning what is the right tension to do, and you can't learn other way. Without failing,
No,
you
no, no,
can't
no.
learn. That's the key point. Yeah, the failure is the key.
Yeah. So learning by doing. So I would say we talked about your how you start, what was pushing you to create these coils, and I would say I had a look, of course, to your catalog, and it's so wide.
Yeah, it
How
had
many
to
how
be.
many how
It's,
many how many different types of coil you have?
I believe at 20, it was 21, but I decided to take out the temperature control coils because there is too much things to know to give to a shop a product which requires so much knowledge behind. If somebody
Well,
wants them, I'll manage the whole thing because it's too much. It's really too much. But Hijikino, but 20 models. And when I started, there was, I believe, six. Then I
okay.
decided to explore the MTL world, and I did one model for MTL. After a month, I realized that one model wasn't enough, and I put in a second one. The next year, I had to came out with a new catalog, and the MTL world exploded, and I had to do six models. And by now, I believe, I have eight models. Yes, eight models for MTL, just for
Okay,
MTL.
what about if we have a look to your catalog?
Yeah,
Here we are.
there we go. This is the one of the most challenging things I had to do, because when I say I have eight models of MTL, that's not really what I could say. It is a pro. It is a con because people enter
Mm-hmm.
in the shop and wants the coil, and which one? That's my job, not the job
Mm-hmm.
of the shop. So so I had to find a way to explain to the people which coil is for what. And the most challenging thing to explain it that it depends mostly on the liquid, on the juice, and just a little bit of the atomizer you're using, because I believe that the first role of a complex coil is to align every atomizer to the top standard of flavor, reactivity, and so on. Of course, every
Mm-hmm.
atomizer has its own characteristics, but the job of the coil of the engine is to take out the most out of the atomizer.
Yeah.
So if you can see, I don't know if it's clear, but basically, let's talk about MTL because it's kind of self-explanatory. You can choose between something where 2 millimeters internal diameter is required and something where it's required 2.5 millimeter. So that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
straightforward. The atomizer is big or is very small, and that brings you to choose between basically half the models. From
Mm-hmm.
eight, it becomes four models. Then actually comes a very simple question: how much do you want to spend? Because at a certain point, you can choose one coil and make it works everywhere, but it's not cheap. Or you never ever have tried a complex coil and you have one coil to choose, the first one, which is the ultra nano.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, they are pretty versatile. They can go everywhere. They can do a perfect job when it comes to creamy or nutty juice.
Mm-hmm.
And but when it comes to tobacco extractor, when there is some fruit in the inside or very very complex juice with a lot of ingredients, you have to choose something else. And then it comes the triple core, the multi-core. Then there is a model which stands alone, which is the stapled, the nano stapled, that has only one job, and it make it dry, the driest possible, because some people want the feeling that you got when you vape from a mesh, and that's what does the stapled actually. It's one of the smallest model I do after the multi-core, which is the new model of this year. It was really a challenge because inside a very small coil there are 4 wires of I don't remember the translation in gauge. I believe is 30,
we can check it.
6. It's 0.16 millimeters.
Okay.
It should be 35 or 36 gauge, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. We can have a check on web.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's quite small.
gauge on the outside.
Okay, and 42 outside. Whoa.
In my opinion, you can go lower than 42, but it becomes a matter of how to say of a challenge for yourself. But in terms of the final product, when it comes to be a product, it's not that that important. Actually, it's a bad thing because the coil is going to last less if the wire is too small. So 42 gauge is the highest gauge you can go, in my opinion, for a product. If I can make a coil for myself every day, I can do whatever I want. But if somebody is going to spend his money, he wants the coil that lasts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I have to choose from between these coils, my favorite one is the multi-core.
Yeah, that's impossible to say anything different for anybody. This is if I had to choose one, that's the one.
Yeah, it's
incredible. And it goes everywhere for every juice. I could have write multi-core everywhere here. But actually, as you can see, when I say mostly creams flavors, I didn't propose the multi-core, and this is because there is no reason to spend all that money to when you don't have to announce all those notes. You have only one note to announce. It's like asking for a very high quality hi-fi stereo, and you have to listen to a talk on YouTube. That's
okay.
There is no point on that. Because all you have to hear is affordable with a very lower priced monitor. By using the same reference, I'm going to talk about the stapled in example. Let's say the stapled is going to enhance the dry notes. That's the key point, because it's like adding a subwoofer, into a room, into your audio. But if there is no sub frequency into the sound you're listening, there is no point in using it. Actually, you're adding more rumor if there isn't all those notes. In example, if you're vaping a tobacco, an aromatized tobacco extract, you're gonna destroy the flavor because you're enhancing notes that there aren't.
That's clear. So it's absolutely out of target. I mean, the liquid that you're using is not matching with the coil that you're using.
Exactly. This is the only one case, to be honest, where a coil doesn't fit for everything. But to give a dry output, that there is only one way, and that's the way. The multi-core does a really good job in that by doing also a great job in everything else. but it's not the same dry output.
Clear. That's cool. And
of course, when it comes to flavor chasing and cloud chasing, everything is a lot easier because everything depends on how low do you want to go and how big is your atomizer. Then the juices are mostly all the same. There is not all that that variety that there is in MTL juices. Of course, when you want to go cloud chasing means direct lung, and direct lung means from 40 to 200 watts. So
okay.
there is a lot of coils for different atomizer, because it can be single coil, it can be dual coil, it can be used in stacked, so you have to do a big S alien with huge internal diameters, or you simply want to go as low as possible and use a parallel battery, or you simply enjoy the direct lung without stressing too much of the battery and go at 0.14 ohms. So that it's a lot easier, and you just have to choose the wattage you're going to use, and that's a lot easier. Then of course, if you're using simply a cream, then like before, you don't need the most complex coil ever. But if you're going to use a variety of flavors and changing them very often, then probably a much complex coil is going to do a better job. In example, the Prince staple, the Mohawk Alien, and the multicores are the elite of the cloud chasing. From my catalog, you can do something very, very strange, weird, complex, and very effective actually. But the amount of work which is behind, in example, one name that you could ever heard is the pitchfork coil. It's amazing to see, super complex to do, but it requires 1,000 times more hours of work to do, and so it's not suitable to do a product out of it, because it requires too much work, and the price, it becomes too high for the difference that offers, and that's not all that difference compared to the very high price. A pitchfork comes out from $100, I believe. So that's jewelry. It's not coil building anymore for a product, in my opinion. If you want and you have the money, you should try it. But in that case, my idea is try to do it, because that's the key of that kind of coil. It's not buying it, it's doing it.
Okay, got you. Absolutely, and understandable. Of course, this one is your job, and at the end of the day, you have to do the best product. Of course, you have to offer the best product, but at the same time, you have to offer a product that the people can buy.
Yeah,
and
the people want
of course,
to buy it, because
exactly,
they can, but it doesn't. It's too much. Simply, it's really too much. I want to say hi to Chris. Hi, Chris.
Oh, Chris is in.
Chris Gallagher, yes, he's here.
Okay, ciao, Chris. How are you doing? Okay, so Isaac, I would say
let's do some stuff. I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a lot.
Yeah. So it's time to do something. It's time to do a very, very complex thing tonight. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it at the first time. I let you present the atomizer you borrowed me.
Okay. That atomizer is the S61. It's an atomizer made by 415 Mode Japan. It's I would say it's a masterpiece from my point of view. At least in terms of machining and engineering of that atomizer. It's composed by 9 parts, if I'm not wrong. Perfectly
I'm not gonna
machined.
tear it apart because I will never be able to rebuild it.
No, it's it's easier. It's easier than it looks. By the way, it's made in stainless steel, and it has an inner core in titanium.
Wow.
The inner core is called the anti-heat core. The titanium is a great material for a lot of different application, especially when
I also got another one in titanium, which is amazing.
another masterpiece.
Yeah. From a good
And
friend.
yeah, absolutely, and a great guy, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the anti-heat core. The titanium is a great material if you have to deal with the heat, and that part is probably really the core of the atomizer, because it offers, I would say, at least a new shape in the vaporizing chamber. Is a
You're
bit
talking
different
about
from.
this part here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This dissipator.
Yeah, exactly. At least this was the first time that I saw a vaporizing chamber with that shape, and it performs very well. The vapor when the anti-heat core dissipate a bit the heat, but not so much. I would say there's a really good balance, and you can even vape more than usual, at least, and the atomizer doesn't tend to how can I say,
Overheat.
does it tend to yeah, exactly, warm up too much, or overheat too much.
I see it's
When we talk,
a mesh atomizer, so many people doesn't know. Center mesh.
it's a mesh. Yeah, exactly. It's a mesh atomizer with the mesh roll in the center, and with, of course, with vertical coil. And yeah, of course, as I said, is a masterpiece of machining. Is perfectly machined. Every interference is perfectly calibrated, I would say. And when it comes to the aromatic yield and the perception of the taste that the atomizer returns, in my opinion, it's really good, but it tends a bit too much to the sweet notes. So I tasted a lot of different juice inside the S61, and in every juice,
kind of the job that does the vampires, or even more.
Even more. In the vampire, it doesn't matter if it is the V2 or the Epos. In both cases, I always found a good balance between all the notes. With this atomizer, I think it tends to push a little bit more the sweet notes, while basically they become predominant over the other notes. So
so
it's
you're
a
gonna
really
say
good
to me
atomizer.
that staplet is the weapon of choice tonight.
I would try with the staplet.
To try to bring behind the sweet notes and take out the dry out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
this could be an interesting experiment.
Okay, I remember you told me that the best way to mesh it is to not do completely full mesh, but gives a little bit of space
Mm-hmm.
into it. So
Yeah.
if you had to say to me in millimeters, how much could I keep? Like
Well,
1 millimeter, half millimeter
you mean in the
on the
center
inside
of?
wall of the mesh, the inside wall of the mesh.
Okay. Oh, it's a good question. I would say yeah, around 1 millimeter would be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Let's see if we got.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would keep 1 millimeter.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be enough. Okay. So 1 millimeter in the inside. I will stay on 3 millimeter of height of the mesh.
Mm-hmm.
I only got the 200 superfine.
Okay.
Is it
So
good?
maybe I would say yes. Yeah, you will just need more a longer stripe
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because
No
you have
problem.
to
I
roll
got.
more.
You got the big one. Okay. Do you recommend to do a double layer or just a single one is the good choice?
Well, generally I use a 400 mesh stripe
Okay, so it's bigger.
because
Okay,
yeah, absolutely. The space between the wire is much thinner, so I would say let's try with the single layer.
okay. Let's go with a single layer then.
Yeah.
Okay, I got also
Le-
my heat gun ready. We'll see. I don't expect to go straightforward with it. I believe that the first one will be a fail. I
Okay, but
at least I will be surprised otherwise.
believe in yourself.
I believe in myself. I don't believe I know this atomizer. Okay.
Now, I would say in terms of juice feeding, this atomizer has a good ventilation
Mm-hmm.
and it fits a lot the mesh. So I never had issue of dry heat or something like that.
Okay. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Of course, it depends on the mesh roll as well. But I would say that this atomizer helps you even if the mesh roll is not perfect.
Oh wow, that's a good thing to know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really good to know.
absolutely.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try to fit this into 2.5 millimeters internal diameter. So I believe I'm gonna stay a bit wider than that,
Hmm.
and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I tried.
That's
I'm gonna.
interesting. I never tried to fit a mesh roll in a complex coil.
Yeah, I believe that's
Uh,
the most useful way because the coil got a sort of spring effect, uh,
mhm,
which means that when you try to wrap the coils outside the mesh, the coil is not gonna stay uh, attack. Well, I'm losing my words. Uh,
you mean stock?
it doesn't stay in shape basically because it got this
Okay.
spring effect. So you have to go. You have to do the coil before, in my opinion, at least,
Hmm.
or you have to build it and then pull the and keep pulling the wires until
Hmm.
you screw down the posts,
Hmm.
and that's not the thing
Okay.
that I enjoy to do. So basically, I'm gonna, as you can see, the coil is already well. The coil is already, it's not unwrapped, is kind of opened to help
Mm-hmm.
the mesh to fit into the inside. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's gonna be a little bit hard to do, but I think I can do it. And I believe you can tell me a very long story in the meanwhile because it will require time.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, no, I'm really curious to see when you have to take care about the hotspot.
Yeah, I'm curious
Because
about that too.
so I will wait for that time
Mm,
uh, because I would say I'm not a pro of the mesh, but yeah,
mhm.
I do have some atomizer, and sometime I use
You enjoy doing.
the mesh to, yeah, exactly. But I always use single wire
Mhm.
coil. It's much easier, and
Yeah, yeah, that is.
generally I do the coil before fitting the mesh row inside.
Yeah, yeah.
So from my point of view, at least for me, it's simpler,
Hmm.
and then I take care about the hotspot.
Okay.
In this case, you have to take care about the hotspot you can have on the coil and on the mesh.
On the mesh. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So you have.
It's gonna be a challenge. Yeah. Okay. Then I think I reached an internal diameter of 2.7 millimeter because the
Mm-hmm.
coil, as you can see, unwrapped a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
so far, in my experience, this amount of unwrapping means that the coil reached 2.7 millimeter internal diameter.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cut a little bit from the upper side and the lower side to reach the right height. Okay. About the leg positioning, do you believe that the V shape is good or the plain leg is better in this case?
Ah.
How do you build it usually? Plain legs or I mean, do the legs goes this way or do you go with the legs? No, I believe I don't have any option. They must
Yeah,
have to be
exactly.
plain. Yeah,
Exactly.
they must have to be plain.
So, yeah, exactly.
Okay. I I think I will keep four wraps
Mm-hmm.
because the mesh is gonna take out a lot of ohms, and I don't want it to be too high. I still
Okay.
prefer 0.8, I believe it will be. Okay, so
Okay. So,
now usually after doing that, by now I have a plain coil with the mesh into the inside. I hope at the right height. I think so. And then I'm gonna toast it because
mm-hmm.
I need to stay shape to stay in shape, and it will require a little bit. Hmm. I'm gonna have a huge hot spot on the first leg,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I can see even by hitting it that one leg is not it's not full enough, so I'm gonna have to fight.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna have to
But
fight for sure.
I'm just waiting for that moment.
Okay, let's see.
You can
I
tell me
believe
that I'm a
that
bastard, but I'm waiting for that moment.
I already have a problem here that the mesh is too wide and doesn't fit into the hole. So I already have a very big problem here that
So it's too
requires me to
big?
do. Yeah, it's too big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks like no, maybe well, it's touching everywhere, but it fits.
Well, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter if you touch it.
No, 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 no.
Okay,
Don't worry.
then. let's go. Then let's go. I'm gonna.
It's all the positive pole, so you're not having
yeah,
issues.
Yeah. But I'm gonna do the hotspot fixing on electronic device because I don't want to go with the short. Okay.
No, clear. Generally, I really lower the wattage around 8 or 9 watts, and then I take care about the hotspot.
I think I will do the same. I got a question. I believe that the mesh is going way too high here.
It seems yes, but try to fit the top cap.
No, maybe not. Maybe it's not. It looks like it's not. It looks like it's not. I have to take a vape before doing the job. Okay.
Keep under control the level. So while we wait that Isaac complete the building, I would ask to the people that are looking at us, where are they from? That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be. Okay.
I know.
Meanwhile, I got a reading of 0.52, so it's very low. I'm gonna have a very huge hotspot here.
Yeah.
I don't find it. Here we go. The first one, I found it. And it will require a bit to fix it. Okay, first leg is done. I'm going higher. I'm going to 11 watts. Okay, I got another one spot here.
Are you seeing them in a coil or?
No, in the coil. I already fixed the hotspot on the mesh. It was quite easy actually.
Okay, good.
It's already here. It's still here. And it doesn't want to go away. Oh, wow. I can't believe that, man.
You already finished?
Yeah, I can't believe that. It's good.
Really?
It's good. Look at that.
Oh, what the fuck?
I can't believe that.
What the fuck?
No. There must be something wrong here. Actually, I'm reading 0.71, so it could be. Wow. That's a lot of luck. Okay, then I need to refill it.
Yeah.
I'm going a little bit higher to see if there is something wrong because I can't believe it's already. Yeah. When you go a bit higher, everything becomes much more clear. Okay. No, actually, it's good. There is only one point that sometimes happens, sometimes not, and I want it to be fixed forever. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Very
moving
good.
a bit.
0.79. Perfect.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm done here.
Okay.
Let me choose the juice.
I would say try to use something that is that it tends to the sweet.
Well, I got it. I got this untranslatable one, which is Yanda di Giove, which I believe it could be translated into Zeus hazelnut or something like that.
Yeah. But it's a name. It's a name, so we can call it Yanda di Giove.
Yeah.
made
So
by
let's call it by
Yazat.
his name. Hmm. I see that spot is here again, and I need to fix. Oh, now we are doing it the right way. Man, I don't want to have a dry heat from that. I really don't want that.
I can imagine. I always remember the first time I built a coil with a mesh roll inside. I tried, and I really start in something like few seconds. I start crying.
Yeah, I
I
feel it.
was
I can
crying.
feel it. Mm, wow,
I do
smells great.
remember well my first time. So
Okay, time to fit this. Stator is
this
the
is a
right name, I
juice.
believe. Wow,
Sorry?
and looking how the vapes is going with this. Uh,
Yeah.
Put it in. Wow, wow, wow! Really, really, wow.
So this is a juice that you know
Yeah,
because
I know very
I
well.
saw one of your live
That's the juice
and
I have in here too. So, and that's
mhm.
not a shitty atomizer to let everyone know. This is my all day atomizer since a couple of years.
Which one is?
Holy shit! The coil, I believe the coil is doing his job because it's still sweet, but actually is not as sweet as it is in here. This is the
Mm-hmm.
vampire. This is the Epos, okay, but it's basically
Okay.
the vampire. Um, but it feels drier with the
Mm-hmm.
mesh and the stapled into here. It feels the dry enough. It's
Okay.
sweet. It's still very sweet. Actually, I gotta say one thing more. I'm vaping at 16 watts by now, and
Mm-hmm.
for me is very low. I
Yeah.
usually vape, yeah,
You're not
but
pushing too hard.
I usually don't enjoy this low,
Mm-hmm.
and I am enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Holy shit, man!
What about the draw? I think it's
It's perfect. I think I got the the one hole opened. Let me see. There is something else. No, it's the
yeah.
only one. One of two. The
You
first
have
one, I believe it's point 1.2, I believe.
I do have to see because I don't remember. By the way, it's something like 1 millimeter and 1.1.2 millimeter in diameter, or you can use both.
Yeah. It's 1 millimeter because the 1 millimeter
Okay.
screwdriver fits perfectly in. So it's 1 millimeter, and it's the perfect draw to me. The
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
draw. I never
absolutely.
had such a smooth and closer draw. Wow.
Hmm. Yeah, it's absolutely linear. There's a good contrast if you want to do MTL. But I tried even keeping both holds open, and also in that case, you can feel the contrast.
Yeah.
It remain absolutely silent, linear. So it's one of the best airflow on an atomizer, at least in my opinion. There are not so many atomizers that can offer the same type of contrast
Draw.
for
Yeah.
for
No,
MTL.
I
Yeah,
believe
absolutely.
the only one that got a similar draw is the Integra, but got a completely different
You
outcome.
mean this one?
Yeah.
This one.
It's really a great atomizer, but I had to admit it's another league. It's another league. It's been a while since I got surprised by an atomizer, and this is surprising.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Really?
been really a while. It's
Okay.
been really a while. I believe it's the last time I got surprised. It was the Integra, of course, but I was prepared to it. The
Mm-hmm.
last time I got this kind of surprise, it was with the Vampire.
Okay. Okay.
This is huge.
So we are absolutely talking about, I would say, masterpieces
Yeah,
of
of
atomizers.
beating. Actually,
And
it's very easy to rebuild also.
yeah,
To be a
yeah, it is.
mesh atomizer, I put also a complex coil into it, and of course it's my job. But don't believe that because my job is doing coil, I'm a master of rebuilding it to the atomizer. I to make
Mm-hmm.
the coil, and because this
Mm-hmm.
is my job, I rebuild my atomizer once in a year. My atomizer, because I hate it.
Clear. No, no, no. I got you. I got you. And no, I do have to say, being a mesh atomizer, I I think it's really easy to be built.
Wow,
Even
super
taking
easy,
care about
super easy.
the hotspot, it's great. The the only limit, if you keep the atomizer,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
yeah. I got it. I got that. Of
I,
course,
I,
of
I,
course.
I'm missing the word. But by the way,
It leaks if
because
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
tends
But
to leak.
every mesh atomizer leaks if you take it down. If you
Yeah,
lie down,
with that
yeah, yeah.
atomizer, is a bit easier because you have a ventilation hole by one side and the refilling hole by the other. So it means that the atomizer tends to exchange the air inside and normalize the pressure inside the tank really easy. So you have to take care about this, but for all the rest is absolutely a great atomizer. Great.
Okay, I noticed
And
that it overheats a little bit, but it
really?
hits the atomizer. It hits the atomizer, but not the vape. It doesn't affect the
Yeah.
vaping. It hits a
No.
little bit, but I took like 8 draws straight. So, oh, actually, I can refill without taking out this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, very
Exactly.
comfortable because
That's
I
uh, that's
already
one of
vaped.
the that's one of the improvement that Yashi, that is the mother of behind 415, made when he developed the S61. That is the bigger brother of the S91,
Okay, got it.
the first one. So this is a huge improvement. Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to go higher by now. We'll go 18. Let's see how it works. Still hoping to not get any dry hit. Will
You
you
are
share that
close to the.
video to him?
Sorry,
Will you share that video to the creator?
to
Because I want to say
to
thank you.
Yashi.
Hmm.
Yeah, I will send to him a message. We got in touch times ago when I review it, both atomizers from Yashi, and we got in touch because I was asking him for some clarification, and I will send to him this video. Maybe he will take a look. Uh, but I would say even the vapor production is absolutely
Yeah, on
huge
point. On
and
point.
uh, yeah, abundant.
Okay, I tried 18 watts, but with this coil with 4 wraps, I believe it's not his cup of tea. It works. It's
Mm-hmm.
on limit, right on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
vape it. I believe you can't do 5 straight draws. I
So
tried.
it's too warm. The vapor is too warm.
Mm,
No?
it's not getting better at 18 watts
Ah, okay.
than that
Okay.
is at 17. 17 is better than 16. 18 is just like 17, but I believe at the third, fourth row, straightforward, you're gonna have a not really enjoyable experience. I'm gonna try it
Okay.
because I'm brave.
Okay. So I think that I don't know if the someone wrote
It
something
doesn't
in
dry
the
out.
chat.
It doesn't dry out.
Okay. The last comment I see is from Chris. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's any other comment.
I believe the people in the US by now is working as to
Yeah,
in my
probably. That's
opinion it
possible.
should be around 5 p.m. kind of like that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure,
it
but
depends on the time
we
zone. By the
couldn't
way,
do any later than this. So I hope that
no.
it could have been really too late for us. So thank you for your gift, Andrew. I really appreciate it.
It's not
And we're
exactly
never
a
gonna
gift.
speak again. No,
Yeah,
really,
it's a
really amazing.
it's a great Ati. Enjoy it. Next time we will see each other. Uh,
No,
I would like to enjoy it also with the sacred coil.
you will get
So
you will get rebuild it, of course. Yeah.
that's great.
So far, I believe that this coil in here is gonna last a lot of time because with the mesh, the coils usually last a lot longer. The only thing, if I could find a problem in this kind of atomizer, I believe that cleaning the whole mesh and coil complex is gonna be kind of difficult. Also because you can't. I'm not sure you can put this atomizer straight into the ultrasound cleaner and not having any issue, or do I? Yeah.
You can do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and this coil is
Yeah,
gonna last
absolutely.
100 millimeters at least. It depends on the
Hmm.
juice, but I saw that this one is quite clear to be a tobacco extract, aromatized, and so on. So quite nice. I want to vape it in Mac mode by now because I'm curious how it works. Let me find out if I got something. No, I don't, but I will take this one. Old fashioned.
Yeah.
Let's see how it works. The pin is quite enough. Uh, so for a Mac mod, I believe it's not a problem.
Hmm.
Let's see how it works. It looks great though.
It's a nice combo.
Mm. Man, it vapes even better.
So you think it's better in a Mac mode instead of
Yeah,
electronic
I
one?
don't know how many watts I'm gonna have out of it, but let me make the calculation. Uh,
I think that you are in the range of 18, something like
yeah,
that.
I believe so. Mm-mm-mm. Let's say the battery is at 3.7. Let me check out. 4.7. Wow. 3.7. Okay. 0.8. Yeah, I'm at 17.11 watts actually. 18, 17.
So you are vaping in the same range with the electronic.
Yeah. I believe it's more 18 by now.
Hmm.
very enjoyable in Mac 2. So I believe that the voltage drop out of it is very low. It's not dropping a lot.
Probably yes. I never measured it, but I would say that I noticed also a really light drop of the power. So it's
For sure, a lot less than the Integra in example. I believe kind of the same out of the Vampire, I think.
mhm,
To get the
yeah,
reference,
most
I think.
likely,
But
most
I'm gonna
likely.
keep it on the box because I feel it safer on
Mhm.
the box. It's not cheap and it's not mine, so I feel scared. Well, thank you, because this is really an experience I missed.
Well, there are I don't know if there are still some new if there's still some new atomizer in the shop, but I saw some of them in the market. So uh,
Mm, yeah, I can
it's not
understand why.
it's not exactly I would say the cheapest
No, no,
atomizer.
no, no,
It's
of
not
course it's
cheap,
not.
absolutely. It isn't, but
It works it actually. Actually, I'm surprised because I wasn't even considering the idea of buying it, even
mhm.
remotely. And I'm kind of hating you by now a little bit, but
Really,
you're returning me the favor with the Integra, I believe.
that's my revenge because
Yeah,
this is
that's
your
your
fault.
revenge.
This is your fault, and that's my revenge.
It's a multiplied revenge.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's even more
Fuck me.
expensive. So.
I'm gonna cry. My wallet is gonna cry.
No, I mean in some market you can find it at a good price. I saw someone that was selling really for I don't want to say half of the price, but it
What?
was not so far. Really, I don't know
What?
why. I don't know why.
And it was a legitimate copy. You know, it
Um,
was a real one. You,
I think so.
wow.
I think, but it was I saw some price that was really low.
I, I believe
Absolutely.
I believe that if you don't, it's still in production, right?
I
So
suppose yes.
yeah,
Not
so
so many
maybe there's
parts.
no point of selling it at a retail price. Maybe it's for that. I don't know, not
I don't
sure.
know.
Well,
By the
what
way, my dear Isaac, we talked
you're
for
ending?
more than 1 hour. More
Yeah,
than 1 hour.
an
It's
hour and a half.
really,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really a
yeah.
lot of time. E non abbiamo manco
Um,
detto una parola in italiano.
no,
So sorry.
infatti, vergogniamoci. In italiano
No,
possiamo dirlo che sappiamo più che cazzo dire. Abbiamo finito le
esatto.
parole inglesi. We're telling that we lost our English vocabulary, so we are kind of shy by of
Yeah,
continuing right now.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's already 20 minutes past 11. So uh,
I believe it's time to go. We had a great time.
I would say yes. And I would say again, thank you
I
for
will
your
say thank you
time.
to you. It was
Thanks
a
for
really
your
good time.
patience. Absolutely. But I would say every time we spend some time together is a great time.
Yeah, yeah,
This
agree.
time we are chatting through some webcam, through some chat and something like that. But I hope that the message we pass is that, of course, we know each other far from the social media, far from YouTube, and far
Yeah.
from uh, all the rest. I would say thank you to a common friend we have.
Yeah, yeah, you must do. You must do. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
so absolutely. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. It was our connection, common connection,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it did a great job. By the way,
He's a very passionate guy. He likes
yeah, absolutely.
to keep people in contact, and it looks even weird how much he does without any interest out of it, and it's not common. It's not common. So
No, absolutely,
the first time looks
absolutely,
even weird, but it's not. It's a very passionate guy. So cheers to you,
absolutely.
sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
You're an
I'm
out of
empty.
fuel, man.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The red lamp of the fuel is lighting. By the way, I would say thank you, Isaac.
Thank you.
Thanks to all the people that are that
Tuning in, and that will
passed
say
here.
later probably.
Yeah, and I would say this live ends here. I hope that everybody enjoyed the time as we did. And generally, I conclude my video saying, "See you next time." So see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Ciao.